The appeal process can be confusing if you've never gone through it. It begins when the service provider takes an action. This could be a reduction, suspension, termination, or denial of your Medicaid-covered services. If a provider takes one of these actions, they are required to notify you in writing. If you disagree with the action, you may file a local appeal. You may also choose to request an administrative hearing with the Department of Community Health.
The consumer or the beneficiary appeals. Customer services will facilitate a panel that will involve a clinician at the same level as the clinician who reduced the intensity, probably a medical director who is familiar with the beneficiary's condition, who was not involved in the original decision.
The appeals panel will give you a chance to present evidence in support of your appeal. The panel will review whether or not the action was justified.
The consumer can be present, their legal representative can be present, and they'll review all the information and make a decision. So that's a local decision.
This entire process must take place within 45 days.
If there is an action taken against your Medicaid covered service, for example, a suspension of the Medicaid covered service or a reduction of the scope, intensity, duration of that Medicaid covered service, or it's entirely eliminated, you have the right within 45 days of receiving notice of this action to request a Medicaid hearing. That's a hearing that's conducted by the department's administrative tribunal.
It's not a formal process. It should be a comfortable process for people. The judges, I think, are very kind. They want to get the information. That's all they want, so they can make a fair decision. I think that it's a right that are given to the clients, and they should avail themselves of that.
If you do not agree with the state's findings, you can still appeal to the circuit court.
They may go directly to circuit court. That's always their option if they're not happy with the decision.
During this entire process, you can request that services continue until the appeal is resolved. But you may have to pay for your services if the appeals committee decides the action was appropriate. There is a similar process for grievances. A grievance is a dissatisfaction with some element of your Medicaid service that is not related to a change in service. An example might be that you don't get along with your doctor and would prefer to work with a different doctor.
A grievance is defined as dissatisfaction with any aspect of service delivery.
If you experience dissatisfaction with your Medicaid-related service, you may file a grievance at any time. Your health service provider will notify you that they have received your grievance and will assemble a group to resolve the grievance. The grievance must be resolved within 60 calendar days, at which time you will be notified of the committee's decision.
So exercising either the appeal or the grievance at the local CMH level does not eliminate your ability or your right to request a Medicaid fair hearing.
If you are not receiving